Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are riding around San Luis Obispo as we have for the last few days, and I want to look at that gigantic sharrow. This is on a street called Morro, and first thing we're going to do is go to the bike kitchen. And this is just a neighborhood street, but I think that there's something really unique about those giant sharrows and these dividers that stop drivers from going across, but leaves the way open for bicycles. If we had these on Texas Street, especially at Monroe, that would make a lot of sense here in San Diego, but we don't have that. Um, Also, while we're going, this woman is actually waving me on, like, go ahead. Or she was waving the driver on, and the driver was like, no, there's a person on a bike coming. So that was kind of funny. But people on bikes here, gigantic sharrows painted on the road. That's some interesting, it's not infrastructure, it's not paint, but some interesting marking. Drivers seem to know that there are going to be people riding bikes around here. And we get to the bike kitchen that just has all of these amazing bicycles. I loved this place. We're not going to like go in and take a tour or anything, but if you happen to be in San Luis Obispo, check out the bike kitchen on Morrow. Um, we are also now, we're going to go over the freeway. And we're going to wait here for a while because this takes a while. It's great infrastructure if you can get on it. I want to make a left here. And while we're waiting for an opening, uh, we've been able to take membership on this channel for coming up on 3 weeks now. So just really want to thank our members, and I say mine. I want to thank my members. I don't make this with anybody else actively. So Andrew, JC, Rod, Ian, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your comments and your thoughts on all this stuff. I really appreciate it, and I love seeing it. We are leaving Broad Street here, and this is the intersection of Broad, Higuera, and South. And we're going to keep going straight on south, or west rather, but we are going straight. And I showed this portion, but this is where all the green paint and a lot of clear intentional design seems to give way to a standard shoulder. You know, nothing really impressive about this, although it does jog around for parking a little bit, and that's kind of impressive. But I posted a video about South the other day. You could check that out. I'll put a link here on the video. As usually happens, it kind of breaks down a bit over here. I need to make a left. I'm going to make a left and take Madonna over the freeway. So I gotta negotiate that because there's no infrastructure to allow me to make that left. So I'm going to take this lane that indicates I'm going straight, but it's right next to the left-hand turning lane, and that leads me over into this left-hand turning lane. I gotta negotiate with drivers crossing that paint a little bit because we are getting into what I think is Caltrans land here. We're going over a freeway. So in any town you're in California, typically Caltrans has not gotten to making crossings over freeways and under freeways actually safe. It's still very driver centric, but this is not actually the worst it could be. There are places in San Diego like going over the 8 freeway from Texas that's way worse than this. But this is pretty standard. But what's really impressive is that we get onto this green paint and then this completely separated sidewalk. And it's a sidewalk and bikeway, but this is some intentional design. And I'm enjoying it. I'm impressed. This is what I wanted to show you. Is it perfect? I don't know. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that this road, which is Madonna over on the west side of the freeway, the is it the 101? Yeah, no, the one. Yeah, the one and the 101. I love this because it reminds me of places in San Diego like, what if Rosecrans had this kind of setup through Sports Arena all the way down to Point Loma, south of Liberty Station? What if Miramar Road had this, and Mira Mesa? Like, I mean, look at this incorporation. And then, I mean, you could tell that like somebody actually planned this. You know, there are diverters, there are, you know, curves, and there's intention. And we have this whole green space on the side to the right, and it's really comfortable to ride on this. It wasn't so comfortable crossing over the one, and the 101 rather, but this is a good design. As somebody riding, and I've never biked here in my life. This is the first time, and we're getting over here to Dalidio, I think, or yeah, Dalidio, Dalidio, and making this turn because I really wanted to check this out. This is like a designated bike area too, and once again, we're separated. There's actually on street for all you VCs who don't like being separated and want to be on the road with just paint. There is a little buffered lane over there, which, this is designed for multiple kinds of users. I mean, if I had to get down here and then cross over, I would want to be on the road, but I know I'm going to stay to the right. So I'm going to use this infrastructure. And actually, when we turn a corner down here, I'm going to volley between the two because I'm not sure what's best. I'm experimenting, but the openness is great. I don't know what all this green space is. I don't know if it's a park. I don't know if it's a site for future development, but I feel like usually when you're in a place like this, and I'm going to compare this area to maybe some areas of La Mesa or further out in El Cajon or in Santee, like we're getting off the stretch. We got, the commercial areas are like kind of big boxy, and we don't have like a main downtown kind of area. And usually bike infrastructure just falls away when you're in places like that. Like when you get to the end of the 94 in San Diego, like it's just kind of all these giant strips. But whatever they do end up building here, this is designed for people to use bicycles to get around town rather than driving cars. Maybe I should have gotten back up on the sidewalk right there, but sidewalk, bike path, separated bike path. I like having the freedom. I'll tell you that. I'm enjoying that there are possibilities. This has been built to accommodate a lot of different kind of riding and plenty of walking, and I just can't help but notice that whatever this development is, whoever put this together, did it with the intention that people would be able to get in and out of this area without using cars. And what makes it even more impressive for me is that that's going to not just be in this perimeter road that we're on, but we are going to go through the neighborhood a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out exactly kind of where we find that, and I think I have it coming up. But in fact, we'll speed up a little bit because this is just, it's lovely, but I want to get us to the neighborhood, which is Oceanair Drive. Yeah, it's wonderful design, and there's a turn off up here that I thought might be what I was looking for, but that person told me that I should go over the bridge. Had I kept on that, I would have just gone back over to Dalidio. Again, sorry for pronunciation if I'm getting it wrong. But look at this. I went into the neighborhood, and there was a ramp designed for me to get on here. Like, this is a road with a bunch of green paint on it, and drivers expect us to be here. Like, this is clearly made for people riding bicycles instead of driving cars. And sometimes I'm like, hey, we should be on the main drag, but this design is keeping us off the main drag. So right here, I'm crossing here because I saw that there was a greenway that goes through this neighborhood, and it gets me off of Madonna and the main road that comes on there. But look at this, like separated, barriered, and then all this green paint takes us around the corner to the calmer part of the neighborhood. Once you're in here, you're off the main drag. Plenty of time to stop at that gigantic sharrow in the middle of the road with a parent and a child on the back of a cargo bike. And, listen, it's not perfect, but goodness, give me this between the Rolando Library and 70th Street on Saranac. Okay, there's a school over there. Like, give me clear paint that makes it clear to drivers that this is going to be a place where people are biking. They didn't design El Cajon Boulevard for us to be on it, so the neighborhood streets around it. What if we had this big, bold green paint and signs that proclaimed that this is a greenway to be used by people outside of cars? This is, I mean, it's a drag that I have to be impressed by this. It's a drag that I have to like be all gung-ho for this. But this is just some of the infrastructure I came across on my ride over here, going over that 101. We're now on Los Osos Valley Road, and my destination's actually on the other side of the road. It's going to be a little doing getting over there. I'm going to come up on the next traffic light and turn and cross at that spot because I am not cutting across. What is this? 5, 6, 7 lanes of traffic. But I just wanted to show you these things. I think that there are some good ideas in here that could be applied to places in San Diego, and I hope that can happen one day. So from here, I'm gonna look at my map, cross the street, drive less, and ride a bike. Thanks for coming along with me.